what does he think about QAnon and the fact that they've now got multiple elected representatives who have at least previously supported the ideas espoused by that conspiracy theory?
He's absolutely aghast at the survival of QAnon in a lot of people's minds, especially members of Congress. And to his credit, even though he might have been behind the curve on recognizing Trump's autocratic, anti-democratic tendencies, Kinzinger was actually ahead of the curve, at least among Republicans, in denouncing QAnon. He denounced them in a video as early as August 2020. So actually right before the Republican National Convention, which is important, that even that at that point, the standards are low, but that made him a renegade Republican at that point. And I think it's important to call people on their shortcomings and the things they should have gotten sooner. But with so few Republicans willing to buck this trend, which is truly dangerous, I think you got to give credit where it's due. And particularly, somebody like Kinzinger, this is his 6th term in the House. He's well respected. He's not using this as a play to curry favor with the Lincoln Project crowd. He has no plans to switch parties. So again, for somebody who is, he's everything a Republican is supposed to love. He's a war veteran who's still serving. He's a young family man in Congress. He's socially conservative. He's economically conservative. He was loyal to the president until the president, literally tried to subvert democracy. So for that, I think, better late than never is perfectly fine in this case.
I agree. And so credit to him. I'll nitpick and everything, but credit to him in comparison to virtually every other Republican in the country. So he voted to impeach Donald Trump. And but beyond that, beyond the individual effort, he is putting together this pact to try to continue this. What's the plan for that?
It's very simple. It's kind of like what the Lincoln Project wants to do, but instead of it being a vehicle for people to promote themselves on MSNBC hits and raise funds, it actually seems to have an end game. He truly does want to take the Republican Party back from being the cult of personality built around Trump that it's been for the past 5 years and make it what it once was, which was the right of center, fiscally conservative, free market, somewhat interventionist party. So I think that there actually is a political goal, and whether or not the money is there, whether or not the donor base cares to refight that fight, that where they were, the mainstream donor base, the mainstream establishment Republicans, they were thoroughly and resoundingly beaten in 2016. If you recall, Trump won handily, but number 2 was Ted Cruz. The two most defiantly anti-establishment candidates. So I don't know what the future holds. I don't think he knows what the future holds, but he is trying to raise money, build awareness, and build a political machine that actually brings the Republican Party back to its roots, or at least what it claimed its roots were as recently as 5 years ago.
It's, I guess, a laudable goal. I wasn't a fan of the Republican Party back then, but I certainly prefer it to people who talk about, Jewish plots to take over Europe with Muslim immigrants and stuff like that. But it does seem tough. I agree. I don't know about the money being there. I don't know about the candidates being there. I wonder in the midterms, are we gonna have, a dozen reps that make Marjorie Greene look relatively reasonable? I wonder how those next challenges are gonna go and what effect Trump is gonna have. But for anyone watching this that wants more information about the conversation we've been alluding to, that is available on Business Insider. And as always, Anthony, we appreciate you joining us and lending our expertise.
Always great to be here. Thanks so much.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.